Matthew here, and welcome back to the Piney Woods Homestead, y'all. I just went and picked up a nice load of yellow pine logs from a customer wanting them milled. Got several more trips to make on that, but we'll start off with these. Today I'm going to show you unloading these big old monsters because they're pretty big logs, y'all. A little over 16 feet long. The L2501 will not do it. I wouldn't even attempt it with those, but the excavator will. So we're gonna fire that thing up and safely get to pulling some logs off and decking them up. Guys, thanks for stopping in at the Piney Woods Homestead. Hit that like and subscribe if you hadn't. And if you have, as always, y'all, we appreciate you. That is one heavy load, y'all. Probably just as much in weight as like putting an excavator on there and hauling down the road. Max will be a little bit more, but trailer handled it fine. Nowhere near overweight, so well, probably pushing it pretty close, but looks good. I'm gonna fire up this Kubota and get safely getting these things picked and decked up over here. Y'all, I really don't like hauling logs on my equipment trailer like that, but sometimes that's just what it takes in order to get logs here. When somebody wants something milled 16 feet long, and so I'll use the equipment trailer and pick them off with the excavator. I don't mind it so long as I got somebody that knows what they're doing running equipment to load my trailer. And the gentleman that did it today has been doing it for many more years than I have. He's in his, I believe, late 70s. And his John Deere tracked skid steer loader, track loader, probably weighs 12,000 pounds. And he picked these logs up like it was nothing. You can see I struggled with 2 of them. That lets me know that I'm probably approaching 2,500 pounds on that log. I've got a, and I may not be quite there, but I'll see if I can let you see. There's a chart inside of the machine that tells me how much the machine will actually pick up at different intervals or distances. So that might help us be able to figure out just how much these biggest ones weighed, because it was a challenge getting a couple of them off. But and it's dangerous, but you just gotta know what you're doing. Thought I'd put a tape on these. I didn't check them. I know that the deck on my trailer is 16 feet and then with a 2-foot dovetail. And they were hanging over a little bit off that dovetail, so I'm just curious to see what these things are running. $16.2. That's the one that was the hardest to get off. Although that first one was pretty hard too. Just, it's denser because it's one of the first logs in the tree. You start getting up into the portions with limbs, a lot of times it can be lighter wood. $16.2. That's what he told me they were. And he wasn't kidding. He did a good job to be in his 70s with several health issues over the years and still out here working hard. Gives me some motivation to keep on working hard too. But these look good. I'll start milling them tomorrow. Too much sun on the mill right now. It's a little warm. So let's get up here in the cab and see if we can figure out just what this machine will lift. I'm fairly certain y'all can't even see this to read it, but this is a load chart that's inside of the machine on the right window over here. And I'm gonna see if I can decipher it a little bit for you. Now, honestly, I could be completely wrong on this scale, but from what I can gather, with the blade down on the front of the machine like I'm doing here, that's how I load and unload a trailer of any kind. I've got at a 10-foot radius, reached out 10 feet from the machine. With the blade down, I should be able to safely pick up 1.92 is the scale, and one unit is 1,000 pounds. So that's telling me 1,900 pounds basically, if I'm reading that right. And obviously the value goes down the further out your boom is, your arm, as you're picking things up. And the closer to you, the more weight you can pick up, especially with that front blade down. But I believe that is pretty accurate. I think I mentioned that log was probably 2,500 pounds. It wasn't that much, but it wasn't far from it either, because if you noticed, I actually dragged that log towards me, got the machine closer to it because got more lifting capacity that way, and barely picked it up enough to clear the first log on this side of the trailer and just walk it around and walk it off. And you notice the machine tipping some as you get over to the side. You're going to have less capacity from the side. So if I haven't mentioned yet, this is a KX033-4. If you have watched the channel any in the past, you've seen it work a lot. It will do a lot of work. It'll do a lot more work than people will give an 8,000 pound machine credit for. And there are plenty of brands out there that are just as good as this Kubota. We just went with Kubota when we bought it, based on a reputable dealer close by and based on that Kubota engine. I really like it. I've enjoyed it in the tractor. And the engine that's in this machine, if I'm not mistaken, is pretty much what's in the L2501 tractor. I could be wrong on that. I'd have to look on the actual engine block to get some numbers, but it's probably fairly comparable. Both of them are rated at 25 horsepower or right there around about. And honestly, I think they put out a little bit more than that, but this thing does everything I need it to do. But you can lift plenty up here in front. I like that the 4-way blade, it actually sticks out quite a bit from the machine, gives you a lot of leverage when you're picking up a heavy load. And when you do get that heavy load over on either side of the machine or on the other side of the machine with the blade not down, you're going to lose some lifting capacity. It's just the nature of it when you're lifting a heavy load. Plenty of counterweight. I like that this machine has a conventional tail swing. And when we were shopping around for excavators a couple of years ago, I knew I wanted a conventional tail swing, because you got just a little bit more lifting capacity with it. You've got to be mindful when you're in tight spots turning, because you are going to have, I believe there's about 14 inches of overhang off the side of the track back here when you are turning the machine. So you have to be mindful of that when you're in the woods working. I've done good not to really knock any paint off the back. I got a few love marks, a little love scuffs back there, but nothing bad. But the reason I decided to do a video like this is because I've had people ask me in the past, what will the machine lift? I'm looking to purchase something doing something similar to what you're doing. I'm not sure if that 33-4 will be enough for me. It is enough for you. Now, if you're going to get into doing stuff that's a whole lot bigger than what I do, which is light clearing jobs, and when I say light, I've taken down plenty of pines just like this, using this machine, digging around them, pushing them over. You can do it. I take my time. It's not going to be as fast as a machine twice its size in weight, but you can do it. But normally, jobs like that's not what I'm after. I'm after brushing jobs, clearing out underbrush, clearing small lots, cleaning around gardens, cleaning around properties, that sort of thing. I don't do any brush cutting with the machine, mainly because there's flow enough on this machine to do that. But from what I can gather, what I have seen, when you put a brush cutter on these things, you're pretty much limited to one function. When you got the machine engaged, it's hard to be raising and lowering the boom because it diverts flow. And so you need to keep that flow to the cutter, but that's just not something I really want to do anyhow. So I stick with, my favorite thing to do is moving dirt, and this thing will move it. I have done plenty of dirt work with this machine. Plenty of dirt work where you think, man, you need a skid steer there too to move the dirt. I have moved dirt, truckloads and truckloads and truckloads of dirt with this machine right here. One of the biggest factors that was involved when we were shopping around for an excavator was the fact that I've got a 3500 Chevrolet ton truck, and I needed to, and it's paid for, and I needed to size everything up accordingly to what that truck can legally and safely haul down the highway, and the type of work that I wanted to do. I did not want to do big clearing jobs anymore. I've done that in my earlier years, but I did not want to do anything like that. I wanted to stick to day jobs, 2-day jobs, half-a-day jobs, things like that. Kind of a niche market for myself. And this seems to be fitting the bill very well. The truck handles this 12,000 pound trailer, no problem. The excavator, no problem. The brakes are great. handles the dump trailer that's got the same weight rating as this trailer as far as the axles. 12-foot dump trailer, and it works. You know, I'm only pulling one truck. It's just me, one truck going down the road, one piece of equipment. So if I have a job 15, 20, 30 minutes from the house and I need the dump trailer on it, got to go unload, come back and get a dump trailer, that sort of thing. So it takes a little bit of time to do it the way that I do it, but when you're a one-man operation, and sometimes Lisa helping me too, it is a necessity to do it the way that I do it. So if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it the same way that I did it. I would love, as any red-blooded man, I would love to have the next step up, the 40, the KXO 40-4. Just a little bit more capacity, a little bit more everything, but by the time I put it on this 12,000 pound trailer, I am, even with tongue weight, probably not going to be legal. And so just because a truck can handle it doesn't mean that a trailer and the law will. So everything is set up just the way I like it. Doesn't mean I wouldn't love to have a 40 or even a 57, but I don't have no way to haul that stuff, and the payment on this one isn't that bad. When you put money down and you got a payment that you can tolerate, get enough work to cover it all, it works out. So guys, I hope this has been a little bit of a educational video for you as far as lifting capacities on this machine, capabilities of it, that sort of thing. For the person that's a one-man crew or a one-woman crew, you can do it with a machine this size and this kind of setup. Guys, I hope you have a good day, a great week, and Lord willing, and the creek don't rise too high. We will see you on the next one.